Hey, Patreon fans, thank you for supporting us the way that you do. We have an amazing guest from one of our favorite podcasts, one of the best sports, and I will add comedy podcasts out there, Kentucky Sports Radio. It's honestly, ever since we did it like about a decade ago as guests, we have guest hosted it. It is really a wonderful playground. Matt Jones is with us for a very special Patreon. Matt, how are you, sir?
I'm doing wonderful and glad to be here with you and excited for another summer. We're going to have you host. We got to get you on again.
We got to do it. I'd love it. So, by the way, the Patreon, listen, no one is safe from 50 Cent strolling. What did you think of the halftime show, Super Bowl halftime show?
Absolutely loved it. Made me feel like I was cool again.
Yeah.
Because at a bar, so we had the Super Bowl party at our bar, and it was a lot younger people than me. And I was able to get up and I knew all the words. You know, when they have all the current rappers, I just stand there and look old. But for this,
you knew everything.
And I was like, let's get it, started. You could see how the kids would like it when I say that.
Yes.
It was a lot of fun. No, I actually thought next to Prince, it's the best one of all time. Because it got everyone happy. I don't know why they were in a modular home there, but otherwise it felt like it was perfect.
Cool. So 50 Cent was trolling. And he is Big Blue Nation, so he did his own version of a crip walk. Yeah, exactly. Over to the bar. There you go. So, exactly. So, not even the NBA's GOAT, Michael Jordan, is safe from 50's trolling on social media. On Wednesday, clowned his airness for his handsy embrace with Mary J. Blige over the weekend. So 50 just dropped a joke on his Instagram page, poking fun at the way Michael Jordan held on to MJB while posing for a picture. He actually focused in. You know how I actually love when people do this, where they did the blow up picture. You blow it up like 3 times, closer, and it was Michael Jordan's hand cupping Mary J. Blige's ass. It was. And this is what Fitty wrote. He said, MJ and MJB, he palmed the ball.
Oh, whoa.
Right? Wings.
That's a strong move to do that. You gotta know somebody to do the ass cup when you go. I will say 50 Cent, I like the fact he bounced back from looking like a full dollar at halftime.
Thank you. He was up. I said 2 1/4, but I mean, you're being generous. Look, he was hanging upside down. He was swole as hell.
If I were him, though, I wouldn't have gone with the white undershirt. It just didn't. The look wasn't great.
It looked like, are you going to get dressed?
So I respect it. And I love that he hung upside down. But that was another way you could tell how old people were. Because a lot of people, if you don't remember that video, you're like, why is this man hanging upside down on the thing? But if you did, we looked like we were smart and cool.
So I don't know if I'd say palm the ball. Palm the melon, maybe. Interesting that he didn't tag MJB. Scored the rock. He didn't tag MJB in the IG post. So he added the surprise pic of Denzel Washington, just to make the ribbing extra spicy. I assume Jordan puts his hand on people's, like that's everyone. See the way he grabbed Luka at I mean, there was that moment, and there's like the moment where he was like very cold to Isaiah Thomas, like him and Magic Johnson talking smack about Isaiah Thomas, who came up to say hi to them. I mean, MJ had a very active weekend. MJ is like Andrew Cuomo the last 2 decades with anybody, with any woman. Like just
he's the most petty. The thing about MJ is there's never been somebody great who was more petty. Like he still hates people that just served him, cold chicken 2.5 decades ago.
That's
Everything about MJ is just like, okay, who do I hate? It's like Billy Madison, the Steve guy character who just writes down everyone he has to get back. That's how Jordan is. It includes a lot of famous people.
Who did he have introduce him at the Basketball Hall of Fame? The guy who
beat him out for like high school.
Yeah.
High school. Think about that.
That's so petty. That's so petty. And it also says you have no friends from the NBA. Like, seriously? Can't get Luke Logley to say a couple nice words about it? I don't want to punch up Fitty's troll job here, but he could have said, quote, Jordan should have called Glass because he sent everything off that backboard.
No.
Right? Baby got backboard. Balls don't lie.
If the comedy thing doesn't work out, you should be in charge of 50 social media.
Thank you. Please. I bet we'd make more money than doing comedy.
Sure.
No word on if Jordan's laughing at that joke. I'm going to say that Jordan does not have a sense of humor. Do you agree? He probably has never laughed at himself ever.
His sense of humor is a lot like Trump's. You get to a level of sort of yes men that the only sense of humor is, oh, Michael, you're the best. And then he just laughs because that's about as good as it's going to get. You cannot make fun of people who have no self-realization of who they are. And I don't feel like Michael Jordan does.
Dude, so I watched The Last Dance, a documentary that he curated.
He did it.
And I'm like, I looked at his life and I was like, this is a sad and lonely life.
It reminds me, I think a lot of those guys are like that. There comes a point where you reach a level of success where I think it's hard to have friends. I think Tiger dealt with a lot of that same stuff. They used to always say for years and years, his only friend was Nota Begay, who, was like the only guy that he was buddies with. I think those dudes do have it tough sometimes.
Which I would say is notable. But I'd say this, which is really weird, is that I actually believe in a perverse way, Jordan likes the fact that he's being talked about right now, even if he's being clowned by Fitty. The fact that he's relevant in this sense that people are talking about him, even I feel like he would get off on that. DaBaby, the rapper DaBaby, found Fitty's thing funny. He said, "Go ahead, bruh," with a bunch of crying emojis, which is great. And then I believe DaBaby made 15 homophobic jokes because that's just what he does. Sure. But it is just kind of amazing.
The rap industry was not for me anymore. Once there were 14 rappers with the name Baby in them, and
you can't keep them straight.
Because I do think there's both a DaBaby and a Lil Baby, and I feel like those babies should have gone a different direction in what name they chose.
Well, it's interesting that you say that because I have the manila envelope here, and I can say that Matt Jones, you are not the father
of DaBaby
or Lil Baby or the Baby or any of the babies. But we appreciate you so much. Thanks for doing this little Patreon thing for our Patreon fans. Thank you, Patreon fans, for supporting us the ways that you do, and we'll see you next week.